Live from the MultiGP headquarters, this is MultiGP News.
Today on MultiGP News, the finals kicking off in high gear as several of them wrapped up last week. A full breakdown of the racing action plus an interview with Evan Heads Up FPV Turner, the winner of the 2A finals.
Then we sit down with 16-year-old Mark Bramer, who made 3 6-lap runs in the 4A regional finals. Find out what he was running at the race.
Also, what does Scully have to say about the hype train? It's the hot topic on this week's The Scully 60. What's up, everyone? I'm Chris, DJ Chris Thomas.
And I'm Frank, Realized Mayday. All this and much more coming up.
Hey, I'm Drew. You're watching MultiGP News, and I'll see you at the RIOT International Open.
What's going on, everyone? Envy Astor here. You're watching MultiGP News, and I'll see you guys at the RIOT International Open.
Team racing is going down at the RIOT International Open. Now, I'm excited about the team races this year. There's 8 different pits for the different teams, right? Pilots are going to race for 24 minutes, all right? Now, the team race is 24 minutes. Each pilot must do 20% of the laps. So in the midst of all this racing craziness, you're doing math, you're doing calculations to make sure that each team member is putting in their necessary required contribution. And if a quad goes down during the track, someone from your team has to run out there during the race and retrieve it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've done about one team race, I think, and we had to run out there and grab the quads, and it was madness, but it was a lot of fun. I can't wait to do it again. Now, Scully has a few tips for the pilots who are getting on the hype train. Here's Scully's 60. Check it out.
Today we're talking about the hype train and, of course, riding that hype train right into an event. Some of the big events have recently, of course, we got the Sebring drone race, and what was the hype train all about? A bunch of the field soft-mounted their motors, and we did DVR reviews as we watched them crash into gates. We also watched their motors go choo off into the distance. We also, of course, have the latest and greatest releases of all your firmwares. 3.2's out, but come on, man. If you put 3.2 on there, you're either going to place third, maybe 2, but you ain't going to win. And one of my all-time favorites, the ultimate hype train. I've seen this so many times in events, at least a half a dozen times over the last year, where all of a sudden it's pilots, arm your quads. Choo! Yeah, there are guys that'll roll out to their last chance qualifier, last pack on the track, and they're maiden a quad. And I mean total hype train quad. The best thing to do is take a page from our friend Stinger Swarm. He went to the podium at a major event recently with a quad that had all old gear, all old firmware, you name it. Everyone was making fun of him. He's like, dude, it's my good quad. That is what you need to do if you want to win. It's not test and tune day, it is race day. Ride the hype train at home and ride your quad right to the podium at an event. I'm Joe Scully, and this has been the Scully 60.
So regarding the hype train, it's up to you whether or not you want to try to keep up with the latest trend. I can tell you that starting with the MultiGP spec is a good way to avoid just jumping on everything and have something consistent that you can race with. Now, let's talk a minute about the International Open and how the Fast Pass system is going to work. You see, as a pilot, we've been queuing the pilots who are going to the event to know what they want to race in, what do they want to compete in. And so because of that, we're building a custom schedule for each pilot. With the number of pilots who are attending this event, we can't have everybody go to one track. It'll just be a long line. And we've got 8 tracks, so we're mixing it up. So as a pilot, when you have a Fast Pass, it says, okay, if you want to practice at the World Cup, here are your times. You go there, you get priority access to this track. You should make it your goal to fly at all of these tracks and get your badge actually punched to prove that you've been to all of these different tracks. Also, as a pilot, remember, you must bring left and right hand polarized antennas, and you may only run a 25 milliwatt video transmitter. If you show up with a 200 or a 600 and say, I don't know, you are going to be embarrassed. That's how it is. Make sure that you've filled out this survey. If you're racing a spec quad, make sure you're following the MultiGP spec, and come out, have a good time. We look forward to seeing you there.
What's up, everyone? This is Troy Sheffield Knockan. You're watching MultiGP News, and I'll see you at the Riot International Open.
What's up, everyone? I'm Ellie, Bull FPV, and you're watching MultiGP News. I'll see you at the Riot International Open.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for our 2017 Regional Finals update. Last week, 5 finals went down with some of the youngest pilots coming out on top.
MultiGP News is a full recap of all those races. Plus, we talked to Evan Heads Up FPV Turner.
Hundreds of pilots who earned their way into the qualifiers, now prepping up for some fierce competition as they prepare to battle it out for a shot at the national championships. 5 chapters hosting their regional finals with some of the best pilots in the country among the competitors. We begin in the Peach State, where Atlanta FPV hosted the 2A regional final, the Peachtree Cup, last week.
Welcome to the Peachtree Cup, the MultiGP Region 2A qualifier. Today we will have some very exciting racing news today. I am Gerry van Zyl, the race director, and with the South Atlanta FPV Racing MultiGP chapter.
35 pilots from 7 different chapters meeting up in the historic area famous for its 100-mile of multi-use golf cart paths. The 3-day event was sponsored by DroneRacingSupply.com, PropBox, and the Peachtree City Convention and Visitors Bureau. The weather hot and steamy with a mild breeze, which gave pilots a bit of relief while racing.
Everybody, the racers are doing well, and I have to say, putting on an actual, it's a world star course, and have to give a shout out to Todd, man. He's done an awesome job.
The fun-filled event kicked off with a last chance qualifier on Friday, giving pilots yet another chance to fight their way into the finals.
It's intense. This is a big race, high stakes, headed to Reno, hopefully. So I'm nervous. I always get nervous for these types of competitions, and I'm not really sure what to expect. I'm just hoping my equipment doesn't let me down.
The Peachtree Cup included tons of different activities for pilots, from a quads and carts scavenger hunt, LED tiny whoop night races, to the prop box all-you-can-fly open track, and of course, the prize-giving ceremony, which offered more than $1,700 in giveaways.
My ticket?
Courtney
Wagner.
Now it's a pattern we're starting to see this year. Pilots like 14-year-old Evan Heads Up FPV Turner dominating the track, leaving well-known pilots like Nick Wild Willie Willard and Kevin Singerswarm Doherty in the dust.
Oh my God, we're not going to stick flapper.
Alright,
yep.
Good job.
Yep. Heads Up's going to get 6 laps and can finish this. This will be the first one we've done.
For Turner, the biggest challenge is keeping calm and focusing all his energy into finishing the course without crashing.
Felt good. Just got to keep trying to do that again.
Consistency played a big role for Evan in the finals. Flying nice and steady was his strategy. Lake Nup Sam's running some steady laps in the beginning and keeping that method intact until the end of the race. In the end, the 2 Tennessee natives taking home the top 2 spots in the race, Evan coming in first and Blake Nup Sam second, the 2 punching their ticket to the national championships. The pilots coming in 3rd through 6th, getting into the Serious 60. Now in the Hawkeye State 515 FPV held their 3A regional final thanks to their sponsors, Twisted Quads, Emax, Horizon Hobby, and much more. 33 pilots who traveled nearly 6 hours from neighboring states joined forces to compete for a ticket to Reno.
Friday when I went up there to do the practice heats, it was kind of a struggle. Just the frequency management was tough.
The weather hot and humid both on race day and during the track setup days before the race.
I'm the course yesterday practicing and today, and hoping to get in the top 6.
Flying this super light quad that I designed with a fin on top because it's Shark Week.
Nearly 200 spectators watching in pure amazement as dozens of quads zipped under, over, and through various gates. Pilots really enjoying the track, but for some, the hurdles posed quite a challenge.
I really dig the course. It's a nice mix of obstacles and speed runs.
Pilots encountered fail-safe and video issues, but that was a minor concern compared to what happened before the race even started. It's not every day you have a real deal helicopter land at your drone race.
And then a helicopter came into land for some training things, so we had to ground and wait like 30 minutes before running our heat.
All in all, many stressed how well the event turned out, with pilots even helping tear down the track in the end. After a long day of racing, Brain Drain Morris coming in first and Christian Amari taking second. The pilots coming in 3rd through 6th, making the Series 60. And in the Prairie State, Central Illinois drone racers held their 3B final on a beautiful sunny day. 30 pilots, some who drove more than 4 hours from Illinois, Missouri, Indiana, Kentucky, and Michigan to compete. A full day of practice went down on Friday with 3 pilots getting 6-lap runs, but they couldn't repeat it on race day. Horizon Hobbies, Falcon Hobby Supply were the main sponsors, with Hobbico also throwing in some goodies in the raffle. Some of the fastest pilots in the country calling this chapter their home, 3 of which were on DRL. Overall, the race running smooth, TBS Race Tracker counting over 1,237 laps for that weekend. And Riggs Brewery, a favorite spot for many of the pilots to wind down and grab a cold brew after a long day of racing. For chapter organizer Will White, the most memorable moment of the day had to be watching the DRL finals live with 3 of the DRL pilots, Jaws, Falcon X, and Nurkala. Off to the hub of the universe, Boston Multi-Rotor Club hosted their final with 35 pilots joining forces to compete for a shot at Reno. Some even driving 8 hours from Maryland for a chance to race. The event sponsored by FPV Direct and Hobby Quarters. The weather overcast and extremely gusty. The course was put up Friday afternoon, but Saturday morning, a storm had toppled 3 of the elevated gates to the ground. Besides the weather, one of the track challenges was the dive gate.
Going good, nice and smooth.
At some point, a couple of track fixes were necessary, one pilot saying he did well in his last round after changing his frame towards the end of the race. Pilot Richard Kennedy enjoyed racing with all the highly skilled pilots from his region. Check out this heart-stopping video when his battery dies just around the last turn, headed to the finish line to make 5 laps. After a chilly and gloomy day of racing, William Bilster coming in first, and Michael Control coming in second. Finally, in the Lone Star State, the Northeast Dallas Speed Addicts hosting their final with 18 pilots, some traveling from Oklahoma and even Mexico for a chance to race. Nearly 100 spectators gathered to watch the race in the hot Texas heat. Superior One Roofing sponsoring the event, bringing them the wonderful Joe Scully to cover the race and awarding $1,500 in cash over 2 days. Many pilots crashing out around the hairpin at the far end of the course, but 16-year-old Mark McGapp Bramer kicking up the competition a few notches after he's the only pilot so far to run 3 6-lap runs in the finals race. For chapter organizer Jamie Kibben, the most memorable part about the race was on Sunday, where 3 DRL pilots competed for a shot at the championships. The talent in Texas is deep, so lots of tight races were going down, and having Scully there just made the event a little more special. 16-year-old Mark McGapp Bramer coming in first, and Ivan Envy Astro Rodriguez second. Now make sure to stay tuned for our one-on-one with Mark McGapp Bramer coming up.
The finals list has been updated thanks to Hefty in our office. Looking at these lists, it's an impressive year already. I mean, I think the bubble is at about 12 laps, which is insane. And now that we're seeing 6 laps happening more and more consistently, I can't wait to see this battle coming up. And for all your updated regional series information and a list of upcoming qualifiers or finals, head to multigp.com and click on the Drone Racing Championship tab. And when we come back, hear what this young pilot has to say about making 3 6-lap runs at the finals.
Plus our crashes of the week, so stick around.
Hi, I'm Mark McGatt Bramer, and you're watching MultiGP News, and I'll see you at the Riot International Open.
What's up, everybody? I'm Lonnie K1NG. You're watching MultiGP News, and I'll see you at the Road to Riot International Open.
Welcome back, everyone. We got a chance to talk to Mark Bramer after he smoked the finals track, dropping not one, not two, but 3 heats with 6 laps.
Let's find out some of the gear he was running at that race.
TurboMach frame, so it's really recent. I'm with Team TurboMach, but it's pretty recent design. They just released it. It's a stretch decks with a roll cage. It's a 225. I'm running the TurboMach, their brother hobby motors, 2205, 2206, 2550 kV. It comes in around 300 grams, so it's a pretty light build for the equipment it's got on there. This year, I feel a lot better because I feel like I already made it to the top 52. I'm already in. I feel good. I'm going in with steam.
You know Mark Bramer is a great pilot because he is able to battle regularly with the pilots in Texas. Texas is extremely competitive. And now it's time for our crashes of the week, folks. I love this part. I apologize in advance for any damage that we may find entertaining, but that's what the crashes are all about.
It's the best part of the show.
Now, if you would like your crash featured on an upcoming episode, email your videos to news@multigp.com. That's all the time we have for this episode of MultiGP News. Remember, go to eventbrite.com and purchase your Riot International Open tickets. Also, if you're driving an RV to the event, make sure to go to AMA and contact them and understand all the details of where you can park and features that are available there on site. There are hookups, but it's first come, first serve.
And finally, we're aiming to reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So remember to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to click the little bell icon so you never miss an update from us. Thanks for watching. I'm Frank Maynard.
And I'm Chris Thomas. Thanks for joining us.
If you like this video, press the like button below, and please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in being showcased in the next episode of MultiGP News, please contact us at news@multigp.com.